What I hate, Terry, is public servants demanding the biggest wage rises of all, 9%, when that's going to have to be paid by people in the private sector who are struggling. I mean, that's another hit. I mean, what do you make of that?
Well, it's going to be paid for people in the private sector in two ways, Andrew. Obviously, it has to be funded directly, and that means higher taxes or more borrowing by the federal government and the state governments. But secondly, it gets paid for precisely because it will feed back into inflation. We don't want to see a situation where we go back to inflation locked in above 5-6%. The Reserve Bank wants to get it down to 3%. It's probably taking too long to try to get it there, but at least that's the ambition. To get it back below 3%, we can have 3% wage rises, and that's a viable combination. But going forward. But if it stays at 6 or 7%, and we try to get wage rises at 5, 6, 7%, we will have higher interest rates. We won't be thinking about whether the Reserve Bank puts rates up by 1/4%. We'll be looking at much more like 1%, 2%. I'm not talking about immediately, but going down into 2024. So that's Terry, the real mess that we would get into.
If only I had more confidence in this government. Thank you so much for your time, Terry McCrann.